In this episode of 10 Best Ones, we are going to check out the top 5 best Nikon cameras in 2018. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability and more. If you want to see the price and find out more information about these cameras, you can check out the links down in the description and the comment section below. Okay, so, let's get started with the video. At number 5, we have the Nikon D3400. The Nikon D3400 is a fantastic DSLR camera that would be a great option for anyone who is looking for an entry-level camera that is capable enough to compete with most of the mid-range ones on the market, and let's hear why. From a design perspective, this particular model sports an attractive, all-black polycarbonate construction with 18 to 55 mm plus 70 to 300 mm lens. However, you can find the same model red-colored with the same or with 18 to 55 mm lens as well. In addition, this model incorporates a large 3-inch 921K LCD screen which will give you a clear sight for live view monitoring and image review, while slightly below, there is an optical viewfinder, which according to the users, can truly provide you a sharp and glare-free view of everything you intend to capture. The controls are intuitive, and they are strategically positioned along the top and the back of the unit, so you can always access them and make changes whenever you want. Now, let's talk about the features. The Nikon D3400 comes with a 24.2 megapixel DX format CMOS sensor and EXP-EED4 processor which will offer you numerous benefits, starting from well-defined photos with numerous details, excellent color accuracy and an ability to shoot in low-light environments without any noise. Since I've mentioned the light, I'd like to inform you that if you ever require an additional illumination, all you have to do is just take an advantage of the built-in pop-up flash which will exclude you from the need of purchasing an external flash. I would also like to mention that the EXP-EED4 processor will let you record full HD, 1080p videos and a continuous shooting rate of 5 FPS with full autofocus performance, which is pretty good for its price tag. Another great thing about this camera is the presence of the built-in SnapBridge Bluetooth connectivity, which will ensure a quick transfer of everything that you've previously captured to a mobile device. Besides this, SnapBridge requires a one-time setup for up to 5 unique devices, so the transmission of your photos and videos will be exceptionally smooth. Overall, you should seriously consider the Nikon D3400, because this camera is good enough to serve you as a reliable starting point, before you get skilled enough to become a professional. Moving on, at number 4, we have the Nikon D7500. The Nikon D7500 is an advanced enthusiast DSLR camera that packs an XPEED 5 processor, 4K video capabilities, long battery life and a rugged construction into one piece, for a price that is affordable for most of the users on the market. From a design perspective, the D7500 has an extensive weather sealing that makes the camera moisture and dust resistant, which by default means that you can shoot in different weather conditions, while on the other side, this camera is about 20% lighter than its predecessor, and has a deep grip with a thick rubberized coating, which means that your photo sessions are going to be extremely convenient. Moreover, at the back, you can find a tilting, 3.2-inch touchscreen with 922,000 dots that is surrounded by numerous controls, while slightly above, there is a large, bright optical viewfinder that will cover up to 100% of the lens field of view. At the top of the unit, there is also a pop-up flash and a hot shoe for an external flash as well, of which you can always take an advantage anytime when you feel that you require more light for various reasons. But now, let's talk about the performance. The Nikon D7500 comes with a 29.9 megapixel DX format image sensor and the EXP-EED5 image processing engine, which I particularly like because both of them will ensure that your photos and videos will be exceptionally defined in both light and low light situations. Another great thing about this camera is its ability to capture up to 100 JPEG photos with a continuous shooting speed of up to 8 FPS, and if we add the presence of the 51.AF system with 15 cross-type sensors, it means that you can say goodbye to the image noises. I would also like to mention that the D7500 has a built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth support as well, so you can connect with other devices without any problem, in order to transfer your content. Last but not the least, according to Nikon, the D7500 can offer you up to 950 shots on a single charge, which means that this camera is extremely efficient. To conclude, I strongly recommend you consider the Nikon D7500, and if you ever decide to purchase it, you will never regret that decision. Next up, at number 3, we have the Nikon D500. The Nikon D500 would be a top choice for you, especially if you're a wildlife photographer who is looking for a camera that is capable enough to capture wonderful and lifelike images with numerous details. So let's get quickly into action, in order to find out what makes this camera so special. From a design perspective, the D500 boasts a durable, weather-sealed, magnesium alloy body that is accompanied by a 3.2-inch 2539K dot tilting LCD touchscreen, a deep grip that will offer you an easy hold during your photo shoots, and an optical viewfinder with 100% field of view coverage. When it comes to the controls, well, they are placed in their usual position around the top and the rear, which means that you can access them easily and make dozens of changes effortlessly. Moving on, the connectivities consist of mic and headphones sockets, a USB 3.0 connector, a mini HDMI port, as well as a built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth support, so you will be well supported. Now, let's talk about the features. The D500 uses an EXPEE D5 image processor, which brings a maximum continuous range of 10 frames per second on one hand, while on the other, it will let you record 4K UHD movies, which makes the camera extremely suitable for sports and action photographers. I'd also like to mention that this camera is equipped with a 20.9 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor and with a 180,000 pixel RGB sensor, which is really cool, due to the fact that your photos can be considered as professional without any doubt. In terms of video shooting, the D500 will offer you 4K video shooting, which is limited to 3 minutes, and what's really interesting about this camera is the integrated vibration reduction, that will significantly reduce the impact of camera shake, when you're recording videos handheld. Before we end, I'd like to inform you that the camera's battery can handle up to 1240 shots on a single charge, which means that you will have enough time to capture a great number of photos without having to worry literally about anything. Overall, if you're a wildlife or an adventurous photographer who wants to invest in a quality camera, then the Nikon D500 would be choice. Moving on, at number 2, we have the Nikon D750. The Nikon D750 is one of the most purchased, full-frame DSLR cameras on the market, but this should not surprise you because this unit has everything that an enthusiast and professional photographer could search for. From a design perspective, the D750 features a weather-sealed, magnesium alloy and carbon fiber construction that is not only sturdy, but it is lightweight as well, which means that you can shoot for hours without feeling any strains at all. At the back, you can notice the presence of the 3.2-inch tilting LCD screen with 1229K dots, which is surrounded by controls on the left and the right, while slightly above, positioned at the center, there is the optical viewfinder, which covers 100% of the field of view, so you won't miss anything. In terms of the connectivities, this camera has a built-in Wi-Fi, which is always welcome, since you can connect the D750 with a compatible smartphone or tablet and transfer everything, anywhere you want. When you open the box, you will find a battery charger, USB cable, strap, body cap, eyepiece cap and rubber eye cup as well, so you will be fully supplied before you start your shooting sessions. But now, let's talk about the performance. The Nikon D750 is armed with a full-frame, 24.3 megapixel CMOS image sensor and an EXPEE D4 image processor, which will ensure that all of your photos and videos will be sharp and clear, without any noise. But that's not all. This camera can offer a continuous shooting speed of 6.5 frames per second, and if we add its 51-point autofocus system with 15 cross-type sensors, it means that you can accurately capture even the most dynamic objects. Moreover, I'd like to inform you that the D750 has an exceptionally long battery life of up to 1230 shots, but take in mind that if you're using flash, you will probably get around 430 shots, which is still good. Finally, except shooting photos, you can record full HD videos in 24p, 25p, 30p, 50p, and 60p, so your creativity will never be bordered. To conclude, you should seriously consider the Nikon D750, because it packs dozens of features and capabilities that will drastically improve your user experience. And finally, at number 1, we have the Nikon D850. The Nikon D850 is a real sensation, and dozens of users claim that it is a real joy to shoot with this camera, due to the fact that this unit is a multimedia powerhouse that can capture exceptional quality images and videos in both light and low light environment. From a design perspective, the D850 has a sleek, all-black weather-sealed body that holds a 3.2-inch tilting LCD touchscreen with 2.36 million dots, which will offer you a crystal-clear picture of everything you want to record, as well as a large and bright optical viewfinder that will offer you a view, which is equivalent to that of an APS-C format DSLR. Moving on, the controls are extremely intuitive and simple, which is something that I particularly like, because you can easily reach them and make adjustments anytime you want without feeling lost. I'd also like to mention that this camera has an outstanding battery life that can handle up to 1840 shots, which is awesome since you will have enough time to capture everything you like. Now, let's talk about the features. The Nikon D850 employs a full-frame, back-illuminated 45.7 megapixel CMOS sensor which will ensure that you can shoot perfectly defined images in low-light surroundings, but let's not forget the fantastic XSpeed 5 processor that will effectively process those 45.7 megapixels while reducing the noise, with the intention to make your photos as lifelike as possible. Another great thing about this camera is its continuous shooting rate of 7 frames per second for up to 51 consecutive frames, that can be expanded to 9 FPS if you take an advantage of the MBD18 battery pack and D5 battery, so I have to admit that Nikon did a really good job here. In terms of the video, Nikon 850 can shoot 4K UHD videos at 30, 25 and 24p, 1080 HD with a DX crop at 60 and 120p, so as you can see, there isn't something that this camera can't do with style. Overall, the Nikon D850 is worthy of considering, especially if you want to invest in a DSLR camera that will never disappoint you with its performance. Thanks for watching, I hope you liked this video. If this video was helpful to you, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future, and if you have any questions related to these cameras, you can leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can.